What's going on, everyone? Big Bad Brad here from ABRR Rustic Relics, and today you're in for a special treat. We're going to be doing something different on the channel. You may have seen on YouTube the whole hydro dipping sensation. Well, I had to try it myself, and it was a blast. I hydro dipped some vintage Parker pens. They turned out great, and now I just want to show you how you can do it yourself. And if you haven't seen any videos on how to hydro dip, I'll make sure to leave a link down below of some of my favorite creators, such as Faze Rug, Share Family, and so forth. They do some great hydro dips, and they are who inspire me. So make sure to check them out too. Let's get started. Before we get started, I want to show you my first two pens that I hydro dipped. Great success, and I also want to show you a hole punch that I made so you can see the cool kind of stuff that you can do. This was my first attempt, and I'm not sure exactly what to call it yet. Let me know in the comments if you have a name for it. Nice inkwell. And then here's my second one. This one's like definitely like a cotton candy galaxy, you know, real sweet, tasty looking pen. Let me know what you think. And here it is with the cap off. Very happy with the results. And then let me show you this hole puncher, and then we'll get this video started. Let me know if you've ever had Let me know if you've ever hydro dipped, and did you have success or a mess? We had it both ways in our family. We all did it. My wife, my daughter, me, we all hydro dipped something. They all turned out great. Some a little messier than others, but we had fun. Here are the supplies you're going to need. Spray paint, clear coat, latex or vinyl gloves, painter's tape, and of course, a bucket full of water. You're also going to need a safe place to dry whatever you're hydro dipping. I'm just going to use this rack here and set my pens in here, and that will work perfect. You're also going to want your wind blocked and a nice clean workspace, because it'll make stuff much easier. Alright, well, I think that about covers it. If I'm missing anything else, I'll let you know during the video. Let the fun begin. First things first, you get your items, and you're going to want to make sure there ain't no sediment or dirt on. So just take a cloth or rag or whatever you have and clean off any dirt. These are already pretty clean, but you want it to be free of any sediment, so that way when you put your first layer of paint on, it sticks nicely. And I've come to find out that the first layer of paint is very important when you're hydro dipping. If you don't do it, the paint won't stick very nicely. Alright, those are clean. On to the next step. Next, you're going to take your painter's tape and tape off any areas that you don't want paint to get on, such as the clip, band, so forth, and such. I don't need to tape anything off on the bottle, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that out of the way. And sometimes instead of taping, it's just easier to remove any hardware you can that you don't want to get any paint on. So I'm just going to go ahead and disassemble this big red and tape up any areas I don't want to get dirty. First up, you're going to have to remove the end cap, and you just twist that. Sometimes they're a little firm. You may have to use a tool with some grippers on it to take that off. But there's the end cap off. And find yourself a safe area to keep any parts that you don't want to lose rolling off the table. Next, you're going to take your clip, remove that. And I don't know if I told you this earlier. I apologize for any of the sound you guys may hear. I'm outside recording today because you want proper ventilation when you're doing this. So you don't want to breathe in all those chemicals. And also, one thing to mention, if you're working outside, you don't want the wind, make sure you set yourself up a wind block so it'll make the work easier. Next, you just seen I pop this part down here and take that out, And that is all the mechanism from the cap. So that's ready to go. We'll have to tape off that ring. And now let's just pull stuff out of the barrel section. We're gonna take the refill out and the guts and all that. I'm gonna leave that black. And the barrel is ready to go. We'll get those taped up here. Now that it's taped off, I'm going to place a nail inside the cap and tape that into place so I have a grip section to hold on to when I'm hydro dipping it. Also, I won't leave any plain marks when I dip it from where my fingers were. And then last, I can set it up in my drying rack, which you'll see in a little bit. And that way I don't have to lay my barrel down. So that's taped up and ready to go. We're gonna do the barrel next, and then we're gonna put on a coat of white paint. There she is, ready. And I'll show you real quick. Now I'll be able to rest it in my drying rack without getting any smudges or nicks in my paint job. Onto the barrel. Time to put on our first white base coat, and I prefer about 3 base coats on each item. We're going to start with the barrel first. I'm going to hold it by my little nail grip I made here. Make sure your paint is shaken thoroughly, and then we're going to put a nice even coat on your barrel. I like to keep it spinning. That way it's all even throughout, and keep a fair distance back so that way you don't get any drips on your pen. And every once in a while, wait a second or two, let it get a little air. And I forgot to put my gloves on, which I often do, but I will make sure I have them on for hydro dipping. We're gonna let that one dry a little bit more, and then I'm gonna come back to it and add the second coat. And here is that drying rack I was telling you about before. We'll go ahead and put that on there. That way they can sit there, and no dirt or debris gets on it, and it can dry nicely. While that's drying, we're gonna do the cap. And when I was taping it up, you've probably seen that I put some tape on the inside of the barrel. That way paint wouldn't get in the threads and I could reassemble it nicely. And there is that one. One thing I forgot to mention when you do this, put on your beat up clothes, your old dirty clothes. You might get paint on them and you don't want to ruin them. So I'm going to make sure I have my sleeves up a little better because I actually like this sweater. Alright, we're going to do the ink bottle now. And to hold it so I don't get any fingerprints on it when it's wet, I put a pair of scissors in there, and you could use a rod or whatever. And that's how I hold it in place so I could paint it and not get any paint fingerprints on the ink bottle. So let's do make sure nice even layer. Stay far back enough where you're not going to get any drips. And if you do get any drips, just come over and give it a blow. And then you can sometimes spread them out and save your project. Because I hate drips. That looks pretty nice. There's the first coat of that. Let's set that over to dry and continue putting on these first 3 base coats. Before we get going here on the initial hydro dipping process, I'm going to glove up. Like I said, I have a problem with gloving up. I don't mind a little spray paint mist on my hand, but I definitely don't like this hydro dip all over my hands. It happened yesterday, and it is a pain to get off. But if you do get paint all over your hands and you don't want to scrub them all day, I like to use a little gas on my hands, but not recommended. Alright, got a breeze coming here, like I said. I'll have to take that into consideration when I add the paint to the water. But now we're going to go ahead and add the paint to the water. I got my pens right here. Already got the base coat, 3 coats on them, and I have my ink bottle. Now we're going to go ahead and add our paint. We're going to be doing this pen set black with, what color is this? Citrus green, matte black and citrus green. Alright, make sure your cans are shaken up well. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, you're going to want to have a stick, a ruler, or something like that, because after you put the paint down, before you go to do your second layer, you're going to have to clear off the old residue. You'll see how we use it here in a minute. Alright, so I'm going to put some paint down. When you're doing it, make sure your cans are well shook, and keep a little distance from the water. If you go too close, it just pushes the paint down in underneath the water and don't have as good of effect. And it'll spread out, then as you let it sit, it'll come back to the center, so you can kind of plan on how you do your design. And you can see the paint starts to layer together, starts having a real cool effect. And that's what we're going to try to capture on this big red hydro dip design. I think we're about there. I think we have the desired effect I'm looking for. And one more dot of black, and we're going to do our first dip. And a spricket of yellow in the middle of that. Oh, wasn't lined up. Alright. And we're going to take our barrel here and do our first dip. And you swish it around before you pull it up so you don't get the design messed up. And there we have it. The first hydro dip design. I'm pretty happy. I'm going to blow some of these bubbles off, and we're going to clear this and do the cap. This residues, get real close in on that. See how that's like it turns into a plastic? Well, you want to pull that out before you do your next dip, because your design will get ruined. So you just kind of swish that around, it'll stick to itself. Alright, on to the cap. Go over here, get our cap, and we are going to dip. Swish that away. Looks like we got a real nice dip on this one. Look at that. Get it away from my gunky hands so you can see a little better. Nice dip. Alright, let's blow this one off and I'll show you how they're looking so far. The inkwell. Find a spot I like. I'm thinking right there. Take our stick, clear that away. There she is. And there we have it. The barrel, the cap, and the inkwell are all dipped. Now we're just gonna let them dry for a little bit and then onto the clear coat. Let me know what you're thinking so far. Now we're gonna put the clear coat on. And like I did with the white base coat, I like to have a few layers of clear coat, at least 3, probably closer to 5. stay back and start adding your layer on. Make sure it's nice and even, not too close so you don't get drips. Alright, inkwell is ready, now let's add the clear coat to that. Then we're going to let these dry after we put a couple coats on, and then on to the next step. Everything is clear coated. We got about 3 to 5 coats, and now we're just going to let that dry and then take the tape off and assemble the pens and put them together and see how it works. Alright, now that everything's dry, let's go ahead and take the tape off and put the pens together and see how she looks. Let's find where the seam is, and we can slowly unravel this. Or just pop it off, either way. And there is the cap. Just had to add the hardware back to it, but real nice look. We didn't get no paint on the metal ring here. Looks very nice. Now let's get this out of the way and remove the tape. Now let's put this cap together. First I'll grab that part right there. We have the inner workings of the cap here. And we have the clip. And we have the end cap. We're going to take the barrel and go ahead and slide that out of the way because we don't need it at this moment. And I do like to use the refill to push these pieces together. So what I'm going to do is taking the inner mechanism and dropping it down into the cap. And if it don't go all the way through, take your refill and just kind of tap it around until it lines up. There's 2 flat sides and you have to line the flat sides up. And sometimes you got to give her a little push. Now she's in, as seen. We're going to hold it there. And we're going to line the clip up on top, and there's a flat side on each one of these on this part, and a flat side on each side of the clip. And we're going to go ahead and line those up. And I really like how the markings line up here, so I think that's where I'm going to keep it. Push this forward a little bit with your refill, and then you're going to go ahead and slide the end cap on. Twist the end cap on, pardon me. And make sure it's on there nice and firm. And there she is, all put together. Whew, crispy. I don't know if that's like caution tape or a bee pattern or what we're going to name this. But now we're going to assemble the barrel, put the insides back in, and put the pen together and see how she looks. So for the barrel, we'll set that there. These are little adjusters here, so you can put a ballpoint inside of your Big Red. Because those of you that collect Big Reds know that you typically take roller balls. And we're going to put this on there. Now it's all ready, and we're going to slide this together. And even with that blue, I still think it looks really nice with that yellow, which was supposed to be citrus green according to the can, but definitely don't look like citrus green. And there she is. Beautiful. I'm very, very happy with the results. Alright, since the pen's all put together, I'm going to grab the inkwell. Should be fully dry. And there is the inkwell with the pen. Very, very pleased with how they look together. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Complete. Beautiful. I just love it. I love the pattern. I think I'm going to go with the name on this. It's going to be Yellow Jacket. Let me know if you like that. Or should we do Police Line? I don't know. But either way, this is a super dope pen. I'm really happy with the results. Great way to repurpose your old damaged Big Reds and stuff. And the inkwell turned out fabulous too. Got a little mistakes there, but it still looks good even with that white showing through. Very, very satisfied. And there we have it. My first 3 attempts at hydro dipping big reds. They all turned out pretty good, in my opinion. After a little practice, I should have this down. Here's my first piece. And that's a nice silver and black big red. Second is Sweet Galaxy. Pen is so delicious. And that is Hydro Dip 2. And last, we have the Yellow Jacket. Yes, I went with Yellow Jacket. I really like it a lot, and I'm very happy with the results. Let me know which one of these hydro dipped pens is your favorite, and do you plan on trying hydro dipping something yourself, or have you already done it? If so, I would love to see some of your work. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed hydro dipping with me. I know I'm not the best yet, but I'm definitely planning on getting better. Let me know what you want me to hydro dip next. Is this something you would like to watch in the future? If so, comment down below. Let me know what you like. Also, let me know which piece was your favorite. Was it the Silver Smoke, Sweet Galaxy, or the Killer Bee? Or Bumblebee, I forgot what I call it, but it's really, really cool either way. Nice bee-inspired pen. Well, that's all she wrote. Also, if you love pen videos and enjoy watching our videos, make sure to check us out on social media, or go over and browse some of our other videos. Tons of great haul videos, adventures, and so much more. Alright guys, I'm done rambling. Ciao, mein.